What's up, guys? Our good friends from Game Time are back with the channel, and we're so excited about it. And hey, what a time for them to come back on, and what a time for us to have a Game Time offer for you, because right now the baseball season is in full effect. And who doesn't love enjoying America's game? Well, with the Game Time app, you can enjoy America's game and save money while doing it. So go to the Game Time app right now. Sign up using my promo code DCTV. We'll give you $20 off of your first purchase. Now, it is baseball season and we all love baseball, but Game Time is not limited to just baseball. You can do anything: concerts, comedy shows, basketball, mixed martial arts. Get tickets to anything by using the Game Time app. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with the Game Time app. Download it right now. Create an account. Use my promo code DCTV for $20 off of your first purchase. Again, guys, go and download the Game Time app. Use my promo code DCTV when you create an account, and we'll give you $20 off of your first purchase. Welcome back, Game Time. We love you guys. We've missed you.
Daniel Cormier.
Okay, UFC 305 is a wrap. You guys know what it is. Miles in the back breaking down the stage as always. And once again, we are finishing the show with a middleweight championship fight. And the man standing at the top of the mountain is Dricus Du Plessis. You know, he fought one of the greatest middleweights of all time in Israel Adesanya tonight. A motivated Adesanya, a prepared Adesanya. And he got the job done. You know, first 2 rounds, very close, but the judges scored him for Du Plessis. Adesanya got round 3. Round 4, it seemed like Izzy was starting to build. It seemed like he had some momentum. But as we have seen time and time again with DDP, he doesn't quit on himself. You know, he doesn't worry that he can't get the job done. You know, his ability to strike with Adesanya should be commended. He was out there fighting against a high-level kickboxer, but he's a high-level kickboxer. He was out there being frustrated at times, but he never lost that desire to continue to press and attack. You know, watching him, and I'm telling you right now, myself, I was not the biggest believer of Dricus Du Plessis. But as I watch him and talk to Dominic Cruz, who is very smart, and Dominic Cruz was a guy that had a little bit of a different style himself, you start to go, hey man, it might not look like everybody else. But that doesn't mean it's not right, right? He might cross his feet. When Dricus Du Plessis lands punches a lot of times, he doesn't even have 2 feet on the ground. He's lunging and running that much. But what he does have is a style that works for him. He's got a style that works for him. You can't question something that's that successful, that's allowed him to become the champion of the world. You know, earlier in the week when I sat down with him, he spoke about finishing Israel Adesanya. I think he might have said 2nd or the 3rd round. It went into the 4th round, and it seemed as though Adesanya was starting to take the momentum from him. Didn't matter. He was able to adjust. He was able to go find the takedown that he needed in that round to break up Izzy's momentum. And then when he got that takedown, he went right back to the position that he got to in the 2nd round, where we thought, oh my goodness, he might have him, but Adesanya was able to successfully defend. In the 2nd round, Dricus had that choke almost as tight as he got it in the 4th, but he was a little bit off to the side. He wasn't flat on Adesanya's back. In the 4th round, when he was able to flatten Adesanya down, he was right on his back, so when he got to the choke, there was no way that Izzy could rotate back to his back to get out of that rear naked choke. You know, he landed a left hand that started the beginning of the end for Adesanya. This guy's good. He's really, really good. And he leaves you almost for a loss of words, because I talk to people in fighting and they go, well, how is he so good? I go, he can fight, man. He has mastered a style for him. He's in great shape. He hits extremely hard. His left leg and lead leg, he can kick from anywhere. And he's confident. He's one of those guys that in the UFC, they're going to have to teach him how to lose. He hasn't lost here. He doesn't remember how to lose a fight. So until someone breaks him, he's going to continue to do what he does. And he must have a really good chin. because he takes some good shots from some big punchers, and he always kind of walks right through it. He's massive for the weight class. Dricus Du Plessis is the real deal, and he is the middleweight champion of the world, and it's time for people to start putting respect on his name. It's time. He has now beaten 3 former champions. He beat Sean Strickland, he beat Robert Whittaker, and now he beat Israel Adesanya. It's time to give this man the respect that he deserves. Tonight, I think it goes a long way in earning that. I think me and Dricus' post-fight interview might have been the longest post-fight interview I've ever done in my entire career. And why not? When you go and beat a guy in Izzy the way he did, you deserve to take your time. So congratulations to Dricus Du Plessis, man. That was phenomenal. Watching a young man truly just really cross into a level that is very, very hard to come by. For Izzy, you know, he fought a good fight, and it looked like he was starting to build momentum to become a champion for the 3rd time. But it wasn't his night. He will openly tell you, and he said it to me in my interview with him, he goes, I am in the best shape of my life. I am more prepared than I've ever been. Then he reaffirmed it in the octagon and said, I've never felt better. You know, it looked like he was going to retire because he took his gloves off, but then he said, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying here. That's a tricky thing for Adesanya, because now he's got to go and fight fights that would seem to mean less than anything he has done for a really, really long time. You know, he had fought 12 straight title fights. He has now lost 2 title fights in a row, one to Strickland, one to Du Plessis. How long will it take him to earn his way back to another championship opportunity? This weight class is on fire, though. I know it's hard whenever a long-reigning champion goes away, but the state that it's in today is as good as middleweight's been for a long time. I mean, you got Izzy still there. You got Rob Whittaker, who's still there. You got Khamzat Chimaev, who's still there. You got Sean Strickland, who's still there. And now we got Alex Ferreira saying, I went to 205 and became the champion, but I never said I was not going back down to 185. That would be probably the most worrisome thought for me as a contender at middleweight. But it makes the division unbelievably fun. Steve Erceg and Kai Kara-France fought in the co-main event. Kai Kara-France has been gone for a long time. He's been gone for a year. And you can see how emotional he was after he won that fight. He knocks out Steve Erceg in the 1st round. I asked Kai, you are a flyweight, man. You fight at 125. How do you have 12 first-round finishes? He believes in himself. He believes in himself. He believes in the power, and he has shown time and time again that he can beat anyone. And tonight, he did something that the champion couldn't even do, and that was stop Steve Erceg. Big, big night for Kai Kara-France, and a big reintroduction of him to the division, because it's easy to think that people will forget about you when you've been gone for as long as Kara-France has been gone. And we have been looking for challenges for Pantoja. Maybe Kara-France now puts himself right back on a short list of people that could fight the champion. Dan Hooker and Mateusz Gamrot fought in the 3rd fight from the top, and it was one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. I cannot believe how far Dan Hooker has come in 2 years. 2 years ago, I remember doing DC and RC with Ryan Clark, and we were talking about the reality of Dan Hooker's career and how he might need to look at walking away because he had lost. This guy shows back up with blonde hair, a whole bunch of tattoos. He said he unlocked customization on a video game. He fights the number 5 guy in the world, a guy who has tremendous wrestling, and he does everything right to beat him. He's gritty. He's tough. He's got a lot of belief now. And he said he wants anybody. He called out Conor McGregor. He called out so many different guys in that top 5. And when you fight the fight that he fought tonight, while it might have thought or seemed impossible before, it doesn't seem as impossible anymore. It seems like Dan Hooker can get just about anything he wants now. I was talking to Sean Shelby, and he goes, he is awesome. Awesome watching Dan Hooker. Amazing. Jairzinho Rozenstruik beat Tai Tuivasa tonight in a classic Jairzinho Rozenstruik fight. It was good to watch 2 heavyweights go at it. Both guys were durable, but Jairzinho was the one who has the skills that allowed for him to get another big victory. Carlos Prates, guys, what he did to Li Jingliang tonight was unbelievable. This kid really should be on everybody's radar now. His striking is tremendous. His patience is calm. He told us in the fighter meeting, I lost before because I was living in Thailand and I would fight on the day's notice. I didn't care. I was just trying to make money. He goes, now I've got a little money. I'm taking it more serious. He said he only started taking his career serious in 2021. Look at him today. He really does remind me of a young Anderson Silva. That victory he had tonight, it felt like when Anderson beat Chris Lieben, a guy that had been around for a really long time, who had never been finished, and he just got truly outclassed. Prates is very, very interesting. Valter, Walker, and Junior Tafa, the submission, I've got messages now that stated to me that a yell is a verbal submission. I got it from referees. I got it from people that just know the game. And I'm going to read this to you right now from Kevin Ioli. The unified rules says that screams are considered a submission. I get it if you're mad, if you're Justin Tafa. But when you yell, that's a submission. You cannot yell. You cannot yell. It says there should be, let me read this to you guys before I get going, so that we understand. It said there should be a scoring of an incomplete round. If the referee penalizes either contestant, then the appropriate points shall be deducted when the scorekeeper calculates the final score for the partial round. A verbal tap out, that's a submission by tap out when a contestant physically uses his hand to indicate that or she no longer wishes to continue. Cannot scream. If you scream in the unified rules, the fight is over. So Justin Tafa may be mad, but it should not matter. He screamed, fight was done. It was a tremendous performance by so many great fighters tonight, but ultimately the night belongs to Dricus Du Plessis and still the middleweight champion of the world. Hey, the belt belongs to South Africa. I love that those guys buried their beef at the end. And you can tell that it was always rooted in respect. But tonight, the champ showed that he is the champ. And it's going to be very hard to get that belt off of him. Guys, I now have 25 hours back to the United States. I'm going to try to stay up all night so that I can sleep on the plane. But I'm going to tell you one thing, it was worth it. I am so happy I came all the way here to watch this fight between these two great fighters. It was amazing. Guys, thank you again for all the support. And keep coming to me here, right next to the octagon, for these post-fight reaction videos. You guys want to know what happens after the fights whenever everybody's gone? This. There's like VIP inside the octagon, photo opportunities and everything for people. And as you guys know, there's your favorite guy, Miles, right there. Although he's a Liverpool fan, I'm not going to hold that much against him. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, guys, tell your friends that DC's got a YouTube channel. I'm doing stuff like this. Peace. What's up, guys? I'm with Neil. Neil, you're Dricus' grappling coach. He got a submission tonight. This guy's been finishing people in a number of ways. Did you ever see a world where Dricus would win this fight by submission?
Yes, that was what we planned for. That was the idea. Obviously, it's a fight and we don't know what's going to happen, so we would take anything that comes our way. But we knew if we put enough pressure that we'd be able to get him to the ground, and we had a very specific plan on how we would go about it.
It seemed like he got close in the second round, right?
Yes.
But Izzy was fresh enough to be able to defend. But in the fourth round, he was square on the back, and he was able to jump on that choke right away. How urgent was the message out of the corner that he needed to get a takedown in that round? Because it did seem like Izzy was starting to build some momentum.
We asked him to put more pressure. He was looking good when he was going forward. Obviously, going back, that's not ideal for us. So we wanted the pressure. In the second round, he didn't have the angle on the choke, and the cage was in the way. So he let it go, but it was a conscious decision. And in the fourth round, he knew that if you get that position again, but just in better circumstances, you'd be able to finish it.
Coach, congratulations on your guy.
Thank
you guys
so
are doing
much.
an amazing job. Hey, he might look a little different, but he gets the job done every single time. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you so much.